Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the qualifying day recap for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Today we are going to take a look back at Saturday from the Bahrain Grand Prix, which saw Lewis Hamilton take another pole position and take a step closer to making it 100 pole positions in his Formula 1 career. Before we go into things, make sure you check out the RaceWeek website at raceweekblog.com and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more RaceWeek content. I would be saying follow us on Twitter, but you guessed it, once again the account has been locked. And this is not working out, really. And I'm starting to wonder if this is a problem that's not going to be solved. Because this has happened time and time again. It's just really annoying. I am going to see if I can connect with Twitter about this, because this is just getting ridiculous now. This is the fourth time this has happened, and the reason that it's so hard to reactivate it is because the phone that this account is associated with is not running very well. That's the reason that this account is so hard to reactivate. But that is something up for discussion later on. Without further ado, let's go in to today's report. So, the day started off with the final practice session, which again wasn't that relevant due to the differing track conditions that we had. But due to the differing track conditions to what we had during qualifying, the pictures are starting to come up, but they're taking a while to load for some reason. There they are, finally. But taking a look at the order of practice 3, it was Max Verstappen who topped the session. There was concern at Mercedes as Lewis Hamilton came to a stop at the end of the pit lane with what seems to be a suspected issue with his car. They didn't actually say what. Valtteri Bottas was in third ahead of Alex Albon, who seemed to have gotten over yesterday's dent in confidence. Then you have Carlos Sainz in fifth. Pierre Gasly has been having a good weekend in sixth ahead of Lando Norris, Danny Kvyat, Lance Stroll and Sergio Perez. Daniel Ricciardo is 11th ahead of Esteban Ocon, Sebastian Vettel, Antonio Giovinazzi, Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Romain Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen and Nicholas Latifi. And that is the order of practice 3. Now, it is time to talk about the main event of today, the qualifying session. So, qualifying got underway at 2 p.m. GMT, and obviously, because a unique feature of this circuit, as I've said many times, is the practice 1 and practice 3 aren't that relevant due to the different temperatures, so they are kind of going in a little bit more unknown with it being a night race. But out of Q1, we lost both Alfa Romeos of Antonio Giovinazzi and Kimi Raikkonen, who will start 16th and 17th respectively. Both Hasses of Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean, with Romain stating that it was impossible to have fun in the car, with Nicholas Latifi starting at the back of the grid. The main story of Q1, once again, George Russell making it into Q2. Wow, he is really showing himself to be a qualifying master, is the Williams driver, taking that car. I mean, that lap, we watched on board, and I really do not think that he could have gotten much more out of that lap. That was an incredible lap that he did to qualify, get into Q2. The two Ferraris of Vettel and Leclerc were 11th and 12th. In Q2, the two Ferraris, neither Ferrari made it into Q2. Head of Lance Stroll, Lance Stroll was not happy that he was allegedly sent out in traffic, so he will start in 13th. George Russell will start 14th. Carlos Sainz, who had an issue with his car, which caused his rear tyres to lock at turn 1, putting him into a spin, and he was unable to set a time in Q2, so he starts 15th. So then came Q3, and the initial run saw Lewis Hamilton lead the way by a 10.5 back to Max Verstappen in second, 2/10 back to Valtteri Bottas, but he then came out of reach with a 1:27.264, and the thing that honestly, some people may find this Lewis Hamilton's dominance boring, but when he starts a final Q3 lap, recent races, I think everyone should just sit back and enjoy. He is incredible to watch in qualifying. He is always on the edge and leaves absolutely nothing on the table. And he's among the most exciting driver to watch in quali trim, and it was really obvious just by looking at the lap that it was very special, just like so many other times this season. So my advice to everyone, when Lewis Hamilton starts a qualifying lap, just sit back and enjoy. He took pole by quite a gap back to Valtteri Bottas in second, I believe around 4/10. Then it was Max Verstappen who was not able to split the Mercedes, but he said he could have got the very maximum out of his car. Then in 4th place on the grid, Alex Albon. He'll probably be quite happy with that, considering how much his confidence would have been knocked yesterday. Then you have Sergio Perez once again performing very well in the Racing Point, ahead of Daniel Ricciardo in 6th, Esteban Ocon in 7th. A good qualifying for AlphaTauri, both cars into Q3. Pierre Gasly qualifying in 8th, Lando Norris in 9th, with Danny Kvyat rounding out the top 10. So that is the qualifying session. Now briefly, I am going to talk about the F2 feature race that took place this morning. And this is not the correct result, so don't pay any attention to that. Those who did not see the F2 races, this is not the correct result. Don't know why these incorrect results keep coming up. That is the correct result. It was Felipe Drugovich who took the victory after kind of a battle. I mean, it wasn't like a raging battle, but kind of a game of chess between him and Callum Ilott for the race victory. Eventually, he managed to get past the Virtuosi car and take the victory, ahead of Callum Ilott, who does take points out of Mick Schumacher in the driver's standings. Jehan Daruvala takes his maiden Formula 2 podium, but Mick Schumacher, that first lap that he did was incredible, from 10th on the grid to 4th. That first lap obviously made a lot of headlines. Nikita Mazepin finished in 5th place, ahead of Yuki Tsunoda from the back of the grid to 6th. Then it was Marcus Armstrong in 7th, with Robert Schwartzman taking reverse grid pole after a dismal first stint, falling down the order. He did a really good job on the harder compound tyre, which meant that he had enough pace at the end to maintain. He did lose positions, but he maintained P8 and reverse grid pole. Dan Ticktum, on the other hand, struggled with his tyre throughout the race, with Jack Aitken rounding out the top 10. So that is it from the qualifying day recap. Be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more Race Week content, and check out the Race Week site at raceweekblog.com for the Race Week content. I'm going to try my best to get this Twitter account back up. Can't promise anything, I'm afraid. This is getting ridiculous now, but there's not really much I can do about it. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for the race recap. Goodbye.